August 21. Honored Madam and dear friend Varvara Alexeyevna, I feel that I am to blame. I feel that I have wronged you, and to my mind there's no benefit at all, dear friend, in feeling it, whatever you may say. I felt all that even before my misconduct, but I lost heart and fell, knowing I was doing wrong. My dear, I am not a bad man, and not cruel-hearted, and to torture your little heart, my little darling, one must be, more or less, like a bloodthirsty tiger. Well, I have the heart of a lamb, and, as you know, have no inclination towards bloodthirstiness. Consequently, my angel, I am not altogether to blame in my misconduct, since neither my feelings nor my thoughts were to blame, and in fact, I don't know what was to blame. It's all so incomprehensible, my darling. You sent me 30 kopecks in silver, and then you sent me 20 kopecks. My heart ached looking at your poor little coins. You had burnt your hand. You would soon be going hungry yourself, and you write that I am to buy tobacco. Well, how could I behave in such a position? Was I without a pang of conscience to begin plundering you, poor little orphan, like a robber? Then I lost heart altogether, my darling. That is, at first I could not help feeling that I was good for nothing, and that I was hardly better than the sole of my boot. And so I felt it was unseemly to consider myself of any consequence, and began to look upon myself as something unseemly and somewhat indecent. Well, and when I lost my self-respect and denied my good qualities and my dignity, then it was all up with me. It meant degradation, inevitable degradation. That is ordained by destiny, and I'm not to blame for it. I went out at first to get a little air. Then it was one thing after another. Nature was so tearful, the weather was cold, and it was raining. Well, Emelian turned up. He had pawned everything he had, Varenka. Everything he had is gone. And when I met him, he had not put a drop of the rosy to his lips for 2 whole days and nights, so that he was ready to pawn what you can't pawn, because such things are never taken in pawn. Well, Varenka, I gave way more from a feeling of humanity than my own inclination. That's how the sin came to pass, my dear. How we wept together! We spoke of you. He's very good-natured. He's a very good-natured fellow, and a very feeling man. I feel all that myself, my dear girl. That is just why it all happens to me, that I feel it all very much. I know how much I owe to you, my darling. Getting to know you, I came first to know myself better, and to love you. And before I knew you, my angel, I was solitary, and as it were asleep, and scarcely alive. They said, the spiteful creatures, that even my appearance was unseemly, and they were disgusted with me, and so I began to be disgusted with myself. They said I was stupid, and I really thought that I was stupid. When you came to me, you lighted up my dark life, so that my heart and my soul were filled with light, and I gained peace at heart, and knew that I was no worse than others, that the only thing is that I am not brilliant in any way, that I have no polish or style about me, but I am still a man, in heart and mind a man. Well now, feeling that I was persecuted and humiliated by destiny, I lost all faith in my own good qualities, and, shattered by calamities, I lost all heart. And now, since you know all about it, my dear, I beg you with tears not to question me further about that matter, for my heart is breaking, and it is very bitter for me and hard to bear. Assuring you of my respect, I remain your faithful Makar Deovushkin.